So this is the latest project from David Mitchell, whose work I'm fairly familiar with. His movie Animal Kingdom I still haven't seen, The Rover I liked, and War Machine I didn't really care for that much. But I also think his adaptation of Catch-22 was pretty decent. So I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of his, but he does sometimes get it right. And with this one he also teamed up once again with Joel Edgerton, who has a role in Animal Kingdom, co-wrote this, and has a story credit on The Rover. But he also has a fairly important role in this one as well, as an actor. Speaking of which, he's a really interesting guy to me, because he's mostly known as an actor, and a good one too, but for some reason he's mostly cast in smaller roles. But he's also written and directed a bunch of really good stuff. So he's an all-around talented guy, and he really doesn't disappoint in this one either. But enough rambling, let's just set up the premise and the story here a little bit first. So the idea here is that this is the story of young Prince Henry in the 1500s. Kind of a wayward son of the current king, and not a very likely candidate for inheriting the crown. However, based on the title, or if you're just familiar with history, you can probably figure out how that one worked out. But anyway, we follow this young man as he attempts to navigate his precarious position in the world. And I will have to say that I haven't been the biggest fan of Timothée Chalamet in the past. However, recently he's been starting to grow on me, and this might be my favorite performance of his. As the prince, and yeah, he pretty much nailed it. I liked him a lot in this. But as far as the cast goes, he wasn't the only one who really impressed me. Because Robert Pattinson shows up too as a bit of a villain. And I thought he was great in this. He seemed to have a lot of fun with it. But it doesn't stop there, because I already mentioned Joel Edgerton is in this too. He plays a friend and a confidant of the prince, and you know what? I absolutely loved him in this. I thought he was fantastic, and he kinda stole the show in my opinion. So yeah, as far as the acting goes, I shouldn't have been surprised. But everyone just did an even better job than I expected. And that's not the only thing that impressed me about this movie. In fact, I liked just about everything about it, from beginning to end. And I really wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. But I mean, the production design is top notch, no complaints there, this one looks great. I also liked the very slow and steady pace of it. It fit in with the sort of dark and brooding tone it set, which was enhanced by a very strong but kinda subtle score, which I thought ended up being very effective, and all of that just created a great atmosphere overall. And then we get to the story and the writing. I very much enjoyed the story here. I thought it worked very well, and there was no unnecessary fluff in there either. It's all pretty straightforward, and it just focuses on the essential things. It doesn't get derailed, and it doesn't have a million different threads going on. Which brings me to the dialogue writing, which I thought was excellent. Mitchell and Edgerton did a really good job with that too. It has this era-appropriate old-timey feel to it, without feeling stiff or dry. There's just a certain elegance to it, and I just love the way they injected this witty and clever kind of humor into it as well. There's even a line in there that just stuck with me for some reason. The prince is asked to go see his ailing father once again, and he replies, "That hook has lost its worm." Which I don't know, might be a common expression, but I hadn't heard it before. And it's a pretty good example of the kind of wit the writing in this has. And yeah, while I'm gushing over the great stuff, I will also have to mention the final battle. I thought it was very well done and really managed to create this just oppressive feel. You really felt the gravity and the weight of it, so that was not bad either. But just in the interest of fairness, I have to point out one slight negative as well. Yes, one whole bad thing, because there is a bit of a twist in this one. Or I assume it was supposed to be a twist, but I saw it coming a mile away. Or several miles, like from almost the very beginning. So yeah, that definitely didn't come as a surprise to me personally. Which made that part fall a tad bit flat, however even that scene was really good, so I forgive it. And yeah, that's about it. I really liked this one, way more than I'd anticipated. I was expecting kind of a decent run-of-the-mill period piece. But yeah, this was definitely a notch above that, a really good movie actually. So it probably doesn't come as a surprise that I would definitely recommend this one. Especially if you're a fan of period pieces. So you know, maybe check it out. Or don't, after all, I'm not your king. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic. And if you'd like, you can also support me on Patreon or PayPal through the links in the description. And as always, I appreciate you and thanks for watching.